It failed to connect to server. Isn't that great? So this is why we do the thing first, and this is why shit is not perfect first. So yeah,
Right.
hi. I'm going to do the
Okay.
introductions
Like
again.
this.
Yeah. So it's like the okay. So we're not perfect here. This is Lunch Hour. Welcome to Lunch Hour. I'm Christie Shinn. This is Carla Napi, and
Yeah.
she it does Duplicate 1 and 2. She is raising a Kickstarter. What are you at now? You have funded. You're in the
I
hundreds in there.
am a little over 1,000 above my goal. So I think I'm at like
Fuck yeah.
130%. The last time I checked, let's see.
Oh yeah. Let me go ahead and put
I
you
have
there.
140 backers.
You got 140 backers. Holy shit, man. And while I move this thing over, okay, great, awesome. So let me go ahead, go to the main. Give me a moment. All right. Okay, hold on.
Holding.
No, no, no. It's just being stupid, this thing. Okay, here. So this is Lunch Hour. We know we're not perfect about anything, so this is great. So now you get to see us. I got to move some windows out of the way because I do not have a fourth monitor. If I had a fourth monitor, life would be great, but this is what we're doing. So we're online right now. Let me go ahead. So hi guys, how's it going? Let me go see if we're up because I have to kind of crunch everything down. You're welcome to start the watch party right now and everything. God, that looks awful, but but anyway, so Carla's with me. You are the creator of Duplicate. You are, I'm guessing,
Yep.
the writer of Duplicate, right? Because I'm
Yes.
semi-retarded right now. So yes, okay. And she's got a wonderful artist. Ours was from Poland. She is Mariana. What's her last name? Hey Jeremy, how's it going?
Strakowski.
Hmm?
Strakowska?
Strakowska. Hey Julio, how's it going? I'm saying hi to the people logging in. So let me
Okay.
go ahead and edit the post because I also want to put up Duplicate in here so people can go and look at it in all its glory. So what had you create Duplicate? I mean, I know we were talking about how it was a TV series and a TV pilot. Now, but what started the whole thing? I mean, I know you said you like dystopian sci-fi, which is great.
Yep.
Um, but so what was your thing about it? Like, why did you want to write this particular story?
I like the idea of a scientist whose work kind of gets away from him. So I guess that's sort of a spin on Frankenstein in a way, but unlike or Jekyll and Hyde actually, because in Jekyll and Hyde, the scientist actually has his experiment go wrong on himself. So in this case, it's sort of the same thing because Matt ends up becoming a victim of his own technology as the series progresses.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, I really like the story, and what I appreciated is that you had a diverse cast because that's what the future is. Like borders are
Yep.
broken down, people travel, people interact with each other. Hi, Quentin, how's it going? But the thing is that what I kind of hate sometimes is that when they write a story about a diverse set of characters, they make them cookie cutter, and that's what I appreciate about your characters. I mean, I read both volumes. It's really good, you guys.
Right.
So that's why I
Thank you.
really liked it because it was like they were people instead of like, yes, I am black man scientist. Yes, I am Hispanic looking woman that talks this way. Yeah, there's some
Right.
Asian people. Oh, there's a gay couple. Look at the gay couple, That's what I didn't like because it's like in other things an effort to make things happen. They made them more like cardboard cutouts. It's like, look, I understand about all this. I have no objection to this. But you got to make the people people. Otherwise, people are
Yeah.
not going to identify with them at all. It's kind of like
Exactly.
there's this one singer that I really love. She's very big, called LP. Have you heard of her?
Yes.
Yeah, LP. She writes wonderful music. She is a lesbian. But the thing is that I can relate to her love songs even though I am not gay because it's like, oh, I felt these things. I know what
Right.
she's talking about. So it's like the thing is that what I liked about her is that they didn't say, "Oh, tone down your gayness." It was more of like,
Right.
"Be who you are. Be who you are in your expression of how you feel about these things that happen to you." And I think that's the best way how for people to relate to each other. But I think I understand like in Hollywood and all this we have to deal with archetypes and tropes. But I'm just saying that
Right.
sometimes what I like is like you forget about all that and you have the people relate to each other like how they are in your mind, and
Exactly.
that's what I liked about it. And I
Okay.
think, yeah, and it's I guess the sign of the times now. Like, I made this joke when I was on Women on the Dark Side panel with Susan Lee,
Right.
and Susan Lee, like when we were talking, and I made jokes about that. It's like, oh yeah, they showed like black people going to Disneyland in the ads. Like, shit, black people go to Disneyland? I didn't know that. I was joking, but I mean, it's like you go to Disneyland, there's people of all backgrounds there.
All backgrounds, yep.
But the thing is, the ads were ridiculous because they're like, we're all white. We're all going to Disneyland. It's like, no, that's not indicative of Disneyland. Come on.
Yeah, that's not how it is at Disney.
yeah. I mean, it's just you get people from all over. A lot of people from Asia. You have a lot of people from everywhere. A lot of people from Florida, everywhere. So that's what I like now, at least what they're doing is like, oh, people actually mix. And I think that's what Hollywood had to kind of realize. People actually mix. Yeah, and then and they're trying to do it in their own way of tropes, and I get it, but it's like, what I like about this one, it's like, it's just natural. It's a natural progression of things. This is just how the characters are. This is what they do. This is what they are as people. They're going to say all sorts of stuff and do all sorts of things. That's the thing.
Yep.
So that's all I'm saying. That's what I'm sticking to it. So like when I do Demon Bitch, I just do shit that's like from my own experience. Like some people say, I don't get why you wrote that. Why'd you write that? I said, no, that's what they actually said. You have to understand that some people actually talk this way. And they're like,
yeah.
It's demented as fuck. So yeah. So
well, they're not being exposed to enough people if they don't realize that that's how people talk in real life.
Yeah, I mean, like, some people will just say shit. Like one time, this one girl just said, "Do you know how much cuter I would be if I had more money? You don't even know." And I'm like, why would you say that? And like, I put that up there, and one girl got really mad at me, and she just said, I don't understand why you would say that. I don't get that. Like how modeling has to do with narcissism and everything because it was supposed to be a modeling audition. And I'm like, what? And I'm like, okay. And then I showed that to one of my friends, and he's gay, and I love how gay men kind of just say stuff because they do. Like, and he says, oh my God, she unpacked it all and she didn't even still get it. And really, when you looked at the girl's profile that got pissed, she was like this.
Oh no.
So. I mean, I noticed,
personal offense to it. She was reading too much into it.
I think she knew, but she didn't want to admit it. And the thing is that you kind of have to laugh at it. Like, even some parts of Demon Bitch, like, even other people outside have said, Demon Bitch is just somebody that is, like, we all have a demon bitch in our lives. We have that fucking one bitch we fucking can't stand because she's just that way. And I mean, it was also my commentary on how women treat each other. Like, sometimes they treat each other like fucking shit. And, like, some people get really mad at me about that, especially some really hardcore women. And I'm like,
it's
look.
True.
Yeah, it's like...
True.
Yeah, dudes treat each other like shit. They admit to it, as far as I know. I mean, there's toxic masculinity and femininity. I mean, both sides exist. We have to acknowledge this. So, yeah. I'm doing that. So, like, what's your next project going on? I mean, you got the Kickstarter. Are you going to continue the series in a little bit, or how's that going?
Yes. So I'm hoping, depending on how much we raise, that issue 3 will start work sometime this year, as having Mariana draw it. So that's the goal. Mm-hmm. And then my kids book is being illustrated by this amazing artist, Joe Felicano. He's at the Horse Puppy on Instagram, and he does these amazing, super cute drawings. He's really into conservation, and my book has all endangered animals in it.
Oh,
and
cool.
then I'm also working on a new pilot script in and amongst all my zero free time.
Yeah, right? You're just like, yeah, free time, that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like, I mean, it's interesting because we don't know how we were talking about, hey, Denise, how's it going? Hey, Quentin. Hey, Julio. Sorry, I'm catching up. I had to go and do all this stuff. So the thing is that when we were talking about Kickstarter and our challenges, and I will get to drawing in a little bit, guys. Don't worry. We're just talking because this is interesting and all that. So I've noticed with Kickstarter, what's hilarious is that Kickstarter is one of those things where you have to be prepared, but you can't account for everything 100%. So if you're too rigid, you're fucked. But it's like when you run your successful Kickstarters, you can kind of notice people just throwing shit on top of a flaming dumpster fire. Because I was there once with my first Kickstarter, I admit. Like the one that failed. That's what I was doing. And I was like, God, this fucking sucked. But then you like notice that you can't prepare for every little opportunity. Like I had the opportunity to do some other stuff with my Kickstarter that I'm going to probably implement in the next couple of days. And you just got to port a business model that you can stick additional things on there. And one time during the Kickstarter, something really pissed me off. I was really angry. And then I just, hey, Danny, what's up? So I got pissed, and I just made this whole character about it. And apparently it brought me in a lot more money. I'm like...
There you go.
Yeah. So it's like, There you go. So it's like it was just stuff, and I added my own thing to it. And it's funny because my friends just like we have equally the same fucked up sense of humor, so we just added more to
Right.
that shit as well. But yeah, I mean that's the thing with Kickstarter. I think it's like it's a beauty of like viewing it as an ever evolving child of yours. Now, how
Yeah.
messed up that is! It could be Sid 2.0 from I think what was that Denzel Washington movie with Russell Crowe where he played the serial killer? Like he was.
Yes. Yes. Fallen. Fallen? Is that it?
No,
that's
it wasn't Fallen. No,
movie.
that
I'm
was
thinking
Michael
of the Todd
Douglas.
Goodman movie with Denzel Washington.
It was like synchronicity or something osity or
Yeah.
something. Well, he was in it. It was kind of cheesy, but it was funny. You know, it was funny as fuck. And but yeah, that was the thing. And so like we
Right.
just said for 2.0, he was like a bot or something, like chatbot. And you know how sometimes people put chatbot in something very fucked
Yep.
up, like in 4chan or something, and then they just it starts like learning, the AI starts learning speech patterns and everything and behavior,
Mhm.
and it's like this really fucked up Mr. Bucket kind of thing. Whereas like you know, like Sid, like the thing is that he started out as a bot, but it was like they fed him
Right.
all the information about the serial killer, so that's why he was going around killing people and shit.
Yes. This definitely sounds familiar. I'm positive I saw it when it came out.
Yeah, it was like in the 90s, like that kind of
Yep.
dates us, but you know, that was in the 90s when we watched. Now the 90s are coming back, which is funny. It was like that weird hypercolor 60s mod shit going on.
Yeah, the 90s were weird times. That was when I graduated high school.
Yeah, same here. Like we had like that weird like hair. Okay, so the one thing in the 90s I want dead already is like this. Remember that? Like that
Yeah.
fucking shit. I hate that shit right there. So that thing sucks. So well, let me go ahead and draw this thing while I do that.
Okay.
I might have to look at reference, but hey, but yeah. So it's like we just talk about it. So what'd you think of the game? Normally I do not watch football, but what'd you think of the game?
I did not watch it either. I was at my in-laws where it snowed quite a few inches, and we were playing with our cousin, my husband's cousin, my husband's nephew. I can talk.
It's okay.
We were there playing with my husband's nephew and my son in the snow, pulling them around on a sled through the property.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. See, that's the thing. It's
and
like,
building snowmen and throwing snowballs at each other.
are you a California native?
I'm not. I lived there for 8 years in Santa Monica, and I miss it so much.
Yeah, yeah.
But we wanted to have me stay home with Wyatt, and we couldn't afford to do that and stay in Santa Monica on one income.
Yeah, no, I get you on that.
So we're in Pennsylvania, and we have a great house that we got for a song. So my husband's been renovating it. And that's where we're at the moment, hoping to get back to California in the next couple of years or sooner.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, the thing is that also in California, it's what is it? Oh yeah. Well, I'm from Chicago. I was born in Chicago, but I wasn't raised there. I was raised in NorCal. So that when I eventually moved down to LA, it was a different sort of animal and feeling like that.
Oh yeah, definitely. My sister lived in Petaluma for almost 10 years.
Yeah, they had really good cheese over there.
They do.
Yeah. So what you guys are doing, what I'm doing right now is red shading everything. If I'm not responding to comments right away, I'm looking at some reference right in front of me. So I have one monitor here, one monitor there, where I have Carla here, and then I got my drawing thing there. So yeah, what got you started in this whole thing? In writing and all
comics?
that. Yeah, and writing,
Or
TV.
writing TV. So I started writing when I was really young, and I had a couple teachers that encouraged me along the way. And then when I was in college, I got into it a little bit more. I thought I was going to go into stand-up comedy for a little while there.
Oh yeah.
So I did that type of writing, and then I thought I was going to do editing, which I think helped me out in the long run with my pacing, because editing is so important to the overall process of what you do when it comes to film and TV. So it's helped me a lot with my pacing, especially with comic books. And then I got into the TV writing. I moved to California, and I decided to get into the comic book writing because I knew that I couldn't just do that without having an education. Because I just didn't feel like that was the type of writing I could just jump into without knowing more about it. So that's what took me to Meltdown, to take the classes with Jim,
Mm-hmm.
where I met all my comic book friends. And then, yeah, that took me to duplicate, and here I am.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for me, I was drawing. I got into comics, and then I drew them really shitty. I remember when I submitted over to fucking like DC, and that made me laugh because it was so bad. My submission. It's like, I can't believe I'm submitting this, but why not? And then I got it. I always loved indie, so I decided to go more of indie, and I thought I had to do this impressive fucking rad comic. And then after the third try, because I did it like I didn't have like the monitor tablet that I have now. Like I can draw analog, but I prefer to draw digital because it's just easier for editing right there. I mean, I can actually draw and write a piece, and I'll be at Twitch LA, guys, this Saturday at the Hungarian Alliance Center, I think, in Hope in Los Angeles. So please bring your Hungarian phrase book. Do not say rude shit. We do want to go back. So I actually asked that when I went to Hungary. I asked, hey Don, what's up? So I actually asked that in Hungary, like, so is there anything about the British and the Hungarians that I should know about? They said, why? And I said, my tour guide said, what? She was really cool.
Right.
And I said the reason being is that, okay, in Monty Python they have the Hungarian phrase book where he goes around and says rude shit in English, where he thinks he's saying stuff in Hungarian that's perfectly mundane. Right. So she's like, no. And I said, okay, well, I had to ask. Hey, Bria, what's up? So that's what I had to ask. And it's like people are like, I wanted to know. I mean, I don't know the whole European dynamics with each other. I don't. Yeah. Like, as an American, we are not familiar with that. Even, like, I'm not familiar with all the American shit that we do, and I was been here my whole life, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like Bostonians or Jersey versus New York. Like, one of my friends talked about that, and, like, one of my friends is also from New York City, so like, oh, yeah, the Bronx sucks. I'm like, you know? And it's just funny. And it's like, and they go like, well, what about, like, one of my friends, like, from New York City said, oh, move to Compton. You know, you're going to get shot there. I'm like, no, that hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah, that's not the way that works.
I think in the 90s it was really bad. But then it's, like, 90s, died down.
Yeah. We're a little bit away from the 90s now.
Yeah, we're like, oh, shit, we're, like, 20 years almost away from, 20, almost 30 years away from the 90s. Holy shit.
Yeah, I was going to say, let's not say how long.
Yeah, right. It's like, oh no. It's like, look at 20-year-old you. What would you think? It's like, I'm into punk rock, and, you know, we're just going to be sarcastic for the rest of our lives. And it's like, sure.
Oh, yeah, my chain wallet days.
Yeah, right. I love those because you could whip a fucker across the face if you wanted to. But you're like, point. Yeah. But then now it's like we're still sarcastic as fuck. Well, still sarcastic. We don't give a shit anyway. And they're like,
it's true. Yeah, now we really don't care. Back then we said we didn't care, but we did. But now we really don't.
Yeah, because we're kind of past it. Like, now we see the millennials and the boomers go at it, and like,
yeah,
like, why?
No one's got time for that.
Yeah, it's really dumb. It's just funny. But let me go ahead. You froze a bit. Hold on. No, okay. Now it's okay. Skype was just being an asshole. So, yeah. So, how's your day today, by the way?
I am going on very little sleep because I co-sleep with a toddler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I can understand that.
Yeah. He was fine this morning, but now he's getting a little cranky because he's teething and, you know, he's tired. So my husband, God bless him, is watching him at the moment.
Yeah, he's probably like...
Well, he works from home, which is great. So if I need to, like, run to the bathroom and I don't want to have a kid in there with me, he can watch him so I can pee in peace.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I'm just like, the toddler's like...
Well, the worst is when they're upset, and he gets very upset whenever I go to the bathroom. If I just say I have to go to the bathroom, he loses his mind and just starts screaming. No idea why. It's probably just a thing that toddlers do, because toddler logic.
Well, I mean, like, when he gets older, you say, oh, you had such, like, separation anxiety when I would go to the bathroom, and you're like...
Well, he'll be in front of me while I'm peeing and still screaming in my face. I'm like, I gotta pee. It's gotta happen.
I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do, and,
Yeah. Now, he's a trip. There was I think it was a couple of weeks ago, I cursed, I curse every so often in front of him because it's just going to happen. You can't be perfect with the cursing in front of your kids. But I think I said, oh shit, in front of him by accident. And all of a sudden he's like, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit. He's just like So I'm laughing my ass off when my husband's giving me the evil eye, and then out of nowhere, and neither one of us had said this word in front of him recently, he flips it up and starts going, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck.
Yeah, I did that with my mom one time when I was a kid. My little sister was pissing me off, and I don't even remember what she was just being a little sister, and
Right.
I loved her to death. Like, she would be my little shadow, and it was really cool. But at the same time, she was pissing me off or something. I mean, when you're a kid, you're 4, you don't have much tolerance for things.
No.
Hey, Luke, how's it going? So what I did was, I don't remember where I heard fuck, but I yelled it in the car. I think I yelled fuck you. I cannot remember it if she actually... I don't remember. I just think... I don't even remember even saying it. I just remember this loss of noise that I knew I said the worst, most profane word a kid could ever say. My mom was driving on the freeway, and she was, like, skidding the car around because she was so shocked.
Oh, my God. You had a Christmas Story moment.
Oh, it gets better. So, my mom... We have a 78 Cadillac at the time. And
Nice.
my sister was there, and I was here. My mom said, you come over here. You get over here. You get over here. And I'm crying. And I go to the other side because I know what the fuck that means. And I'm crying. So, Mom, and you know when kids are crying, you'll probably get to the stage with your son. But, you know, they'll cry and say, I'm sorry, I won't say that anymore. But instead of saying that, they say, I promise I won't say fuck anymore. And I kept repeating it. I don't know what the fuck was wrong with me. And then my little sister, she's 18 months, 2 years younger than me. And she started saying that. And my mom smacked her. She slapped her. And she started crying. You get over here. And I'm like crying and not doing it because I know what the fuck's going to happen. And she's like, I'm going to remember this. And she drove off, and I think she forgot.
Oh, my gosh.
I feel kind of bad. I'm so sad. I feel really bad that my sister...
That was back in the days when seatbelts were optional, right?
I think so. Or I was small enough that I was like so angry. I mean, not angry, sorry. I was so... I don't know what it was, or I was so small, or I knew how to wriggle around in them, because it's a 78 vehicle, and I think at the time
it's just not belts if it's a 78.
Yeah, like, it was a really fucking awesome caddy, but it just died, you know. It's old. It got old. It died. But it was just funny how wow, you know, I just can't. I just couldn't. It was just like, yeah.
Did your sister remember it, or was she too little to remember?
She might have. I don't know. I never brought it up. I actually feel kind of like shitty about that, to be honest. Because I mean, I just like I feel bad enough already. I mean, I'm not one of these older siblings that are, ha, I got you into trouble. I didn't feel guilt at the time, admittedly, because I was just glad that my mom didn't kind of beat my ass. But at the same time, it was like, now I'm like, wow, that was kind of shitty of me to do. Yeah, so I did that. And I mean, my sister and I were still cool. I mean, it's not like we hate each other or anything. I just like, that's a big deal. It doesn't hurt anybody. Fuckity, fuck. Eric Cartman, South Park, bigger, longer, and uncut. Now I say fuck all the time. Like, as a kid, I wouldn't swear. And I said fuck for the first time, and I'm like, wow, that felt good. And I kept just saying fuck every other word. Oh my God. I don't know what's wrong with me sometimes. I mean, my mom would just say, like, why do you swear? Why do you do all this as an artist? Why do you do this? And I said, you know, some people threaten to kill the president on their Twitter. They're like, what? She's like, what? I'm like, yeah, they do that. I don't do that. Yeah.
No,
yeah, like, yeah, they do that now. And it's like, oh, okay. And this was like 5 or 6 years ago. And then people say, like, what does your mom think about your comics? I said, you know, I think she used to be pissed off about it. Now she's like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. She's gotten used to it.
Yeah, she's like, that's just what she does now, you know, and they do things for me and make me money and get me recognized, so I guess that works.
There you go.
I guess my mom thinks, well, I could be doing worse shit for money, like, you know, there you go. We'll leave it at that.
Did she have a vision of what she wanted you to be when you grew up?
Oh, yeah. I think it was like to a point she really wanted me to do things a certain way. She started dispensing advice. And I'm like, no offense, Mom, you were a realtor and a really good one, but that's not going to work. So, yeah, that was some shit.
Did she get your sister to do whatever she wanted for a living?
My sister's more of a corporate person.
Okay.
So she could, I'm not saying she's a bad person, but she can fit into corporate life better than me. So
Right.
I think her mentality is different. I mean, we get along great. It's not that. I mean, it's just we're different. For me, it's like I just chose artwork because I just didn't want to work for corporate really anymore. And I just
Yeah.
said, well, fuck it. You know, I just don't want to deal with it because I just kind of hated the atmosphere and everything. And she can, I mean, she's a COO, so she works very
Oh, there
well
you
with
go.
it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's nothing about selling out and all that. And her husband's a CFO, so yeah, so it's like one of those deals. But she's very she's very what is it? She's just very, we're different people, but we get along
Right.
good. Like she's very supportive of it. Like they really like the fact that I do what I do.
Oh, good. That's
Some
good.
people are going
That's
like,
good.
"Oh, cool, you do artwork and shit." So yeah. I don't know if you can view the.
I can't.
You need to minimize your screen. It's totally fine because I have the screen maximized here. Hey April, how's it going? Hey Tariq. One of the most interesting words in English language today is the word fuck. It's a magical word. Yes, it truly is. If you hate a bitch with all your heart. Huh?
I said it is magical.
Yeah, if you hate a bitch with all your heart, there you go, man.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also writing a couple other things like, oh, Rich. Okay. Sorry, I'm tagging some people because they like sharing my shit around and everything. So yeah, but I've also pinned on top of the chat the link to Duplicate if people want to take a look at that. So that's on the top of the chat. So there you go. Hey Jeffrey, how's it going? So you're one of my backers there too. So yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So yeah. So what is?
Lucky with the video. My friend Jocelyn edited it for me because my computer decided it was not going to cooperate in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, don't you like it as a creative? It's like, hey, fuck you. I'm not going to work.
Yeah.
And you're just like...
Well, Apple made it worse because when I called support for help with iMovie, what they told me to do messed my computer up so bad I had to do a time machine restore.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
So there's still a bunch of programs on my computer that I haven't gotten back up and running yet because I'm just like, I just don't have time right now.
Mm-hmm. I get you on that. Yeah, so I'm just drawing a thing of Pamela. I'm going to make it all fucked up and dirty, but I'm just getting the basic layout down and everything. So... yeah, but it's kind of good because it's sort of relatable because it makes you think of student debt and all that fucking bullshit right now.
Yes, yeah. Well, and the amount of money now that you have to pay for college, like, I want to say my college at NYU was something like $20,000 a year, and now, so I think I came out with $20,000 in debt. My parents came out with $80,000 in debt from my college, but I want to say nowadays it's like $80,000 a year.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I think that's a minimum, which is insane. How is anyone supposed to be able to pay that off?
Well, I mean, people look to the government also to fix it. I'm like, but the schools kind of overcharge for that shit too, and they get grants from the government like crazy. Like, why don't? I mean, I'm not saying educators shouldn't be paid, but I was talking with somebody. It's like in California, I will never vote for a teacher's raise, not because I don't believe that the teachers don't deserve it, but whenever we voted that in, they just basically hire more administrators and say fuck the teachers, and I'm like, well, fuck you.
That's not cool.
No, they've done that.
Money needs to go to the teachers because they're the ones that need it.
Yeah, but I mean, they're not doing that, unfortunately, and at least with some of the school districts that I've had to vote in. And I never liked that. I mean, it's like, so you can just basically shit in my face and say, ha, we're not going to use it for what? It's like, this is what you propose this to be. Fuck you.
Right.
Same thing with, like, tax increases and stuff. It's like, you say that this will go here. It's not. Fuck you. I'm not going to deal with it. Fuck you, So I just got sick of it, And again, this is not trying to bash one group over another. It's just that I'm pissed off that they don't use the money that they say they're going to use it.
Yeah, they really need to use it to help, and for the classrooms too, because a lot of the teachers have to pay out of pocket to provide the classrooms with just basic teaching materials, which is ridiculous. But I mean, I know with NYU, we only had me on campus for 1 year because it was too much money between the housing and the food plan. So I ended up commuting every day from my parents in New Jersey, and I worked part-time on top of it.
Yeah, New York is expensive. I heard. Like, I've never been there.
It's very expensive. So, but it meant that I didn't get to really be involved in the community at the film school, because after every class I was usually having to run to catch a bus home to do my shift at the camera store.
Yeah. Yeah, right? Yeah, no, I mean, I totally get you on that. I mean, that is tough. Like, it is not easy, and then now it's like, as I said, again, it's like I'm not trying to blame one group of people, but I'm just trying to look at different ways to do the solution. As I said, it's not that I don't think that professors and college shouldn't be worth something. It's just that I think it's kind of like they sort of hyperinflated it along with the government to kind of like get as much out from people. And I'm like, come on. And what I hate, at least in the state of California that I know of, they go like, let's raise the minimum wage. And I'm like, it's now beginning to piss me off. Because here's the thing, it's like, other than the regular, it'll rise the cost of everything. Okay, fine, I can deal with that. But the problem is that our government will actually go and put more taxes on top of shit. And I'm like, please stop. Please stop, It's like, oh, but we have this environmental gas tax. We have this, we have that, we have this. It's like, no, stop.
They just need one tax like they have in Britain, the value-added tax.
Right? But I mean, it's like a difference between like that country in that terms of size. Yeah, I mean, that country in the terms of size versus the other country in terms of size. So it's like, I mean, again, I'm not disagreeing. It's just that it's annoying to me because it's like, don't raise my wages and then raise everything up to tax the shit out of it.
Yes, so you end up earning less money at the end of it.
Yeah, and it's just like, and they go like, well, how come Californians can't live? And I'm like, because you tax the living shit out of us. Please do not tax us anymore.
And then there's also just, there's no housing to be had. I know when we were in Santa Monica, we applied for help because we were just on the one income, and we qualified for help in Santa Monica to be considered for like low-income housing in Santa Monica, and it was a joke because the apartments they were showing us were more than what I was currently paying for a smaller place. Yeah. And I was like, why am I going to leave my current place that's bigger and costs less for a smaller place that costs more?
It's like, wait, this does not have the purpose of what I need. Yeah, I know, I get you on that. Now we decided to talk about housing costs and everything because...
Housing costs, yay!
And people are like, but we were here for you to draw. And I'm like, yes, I'm drawing that. I'm doing that right now.
Well, when I tell people how much my house in Pennsylvania costs, they I've had a couple people literally fall over because, the housing costs in this particular part of Pennsylvania is cheap, much cheaper than the majority of the country, I would say, but it's also in a more isolated area. Yeah. So you don't have access to a lot of the things that, you would need right away without having to drive a good distance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's a trade-off.
So, hey, Carly, how's it going? Quentin is one of my big-time people that likes to come there. He's from the Netherlands. And he goes
nice.
in. Yeah.
Yeah,
he occasionally talks to me about my cats. Like, how are the cats? I said, oh, they fuck with each other all the time. Do you have any pets?
Yeah, how are they? Why haven't they come in to say hello?
Yeah, there you go. So, do you have any pets or anything?
I used to.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't get into that.
Yeah, my last, I had a trio of fluffies, Baby, Gizmo, and Munchkin, and Gizmo sadly passed away right before we moved back to California.
Were they dogs or cats?
Right before we moved back to the East Coast, actually. We were supposed to leave, and the week we were supposed to leave, he got really sick, and the vet said that if we put him on the plane, he wouldn't survive the trip.
Oh, that's sad.
So we postponed our trip to try to give him a chance to fight what was going on and survive, and he just went downhill really quickly.
Was he a dog or a cat?
He was a dog. Munchkin was the cat, Baby was the other dog.
Oh, okay.
So 2 dogs and a cat. Gizmo was the last of the fluffies.
Oh, that's sad. I'm sorry.
Someday we will get another fluffy. And I love to dog sit. That's been one of my frustrations with this area is no one uses pet sitters. So I'm qualified as a pet sitter with WAG and with Rover, but I can't get any clients out here because no one uses dog walkers.
Oh, wow. It's crazy. Well, it'll somehow work out somewhere,
Yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so I'm just kind of like, I'm just like really like getting into the character of Pamela right here. If Pamela's one of the characters in the book where she basically her lungs mysteriously fail her, and she gets the duplicate technology to replace her lungs, but unfortunately it gives her like what, about $1 million almost in debt on top of the existing school debt. So unfortunately, in unsavory ways, they buy the debt, which is really fucked up. So that's kind of it right there, and so it's like I'm just drawing her because I was inspired by La Llorona, and it's kind of like she's that La Llorona of that kind of thing. She's a woman who has been wronged so bad, and she comes back. She comes back to kind of haunt. I mean, she's not really a ghost, but it's one of those things. Again, I don't want to reveal too much of the story. I want you guys to take a look at it. I want you to support it and get the book. I mean, it's already funded. You're going to get the book anyway. So there you go. So I don't want to ruin that for you guys.
Now we're into all of our fun stretch goals. I had Mariana create all this awesome art for stretch goals that we're slowly revealing.
Yeah, I like her art. It's like got this sort of despondency about it.
It's awesome. She the way she does emotions on faces is fantastic, which is critical to my book because it's not action heavy.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's more thought. Thought.
Yeah.
It's more thought and more thought provoking. That's it. Thought provoking.
Yeah, I've been lucky with her. I've been lucky with my whole team. I mean, Layla and Owen have been great with the covers, and Josh was my letter artist on issue 1. He got hired at DC right after he did issue 1, so that's why he's not still with the book, because you're not allowed to work on outside projects when you're in-house.
I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so he referred me to Carlos, who he worked with at DC, who's now a freelancer, and Carlos has taken over the book. He did issue 2.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh did my logo, so he did the duplicate with the lungs as one of the letters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really like it. It's a very good book.
Thank you.
It flowed really well. I liked it because it was just so. It was just so emotive. I mean, it was good. Like, you got the idea of what was going on, but unfortunately, sometimes with like stuff that deals with fantasy, yes, you have to do world building or technology. Right. You kind of get. It's like Ghost in the Shell. I like Ghost in the Shell. I like the concept. But some of the iterations of Ghost in the Shell, they're just talking, and I'm like, oh, fuck, please shut up. Like, I don't mind dialogue, but they'll just sit there and talk. Right. And it's like, I don't mind cerebral shit, but please do something,
Right. Right. I try to be very careful with how much dialogue there is, so it's not filling up the whole panel, and it's keeping things moving.
Yeah, right? So I'm going to go and do this. Let me dupe this. But yeah, so that's really cool. But yeah. So other than that, so you mentioned you had a kid's book. So what's going on with that?
So the kids book. So I've always wanted to write a kids book. I did, one when I was a little kid about a bunny that hops. But I took a workshop class online to hone my manuscript that I had. It's about a pangolin who's an inventor, and she lives by herself. And then these other 3 endangered animals come onto the island, and a Noah, which is a type of buffalo, a Malayo bird, and an orangutan. So it's all animals that live in the Indonesian islands. Mm-hmm. The petal is very shy, so she has to figure out a way to make friends without overwhelming herself. Mm-hmm. So the book is her journey to make friends with these new inhabitants on her island without overwhelming herself with her. And she finds a way to do it, because I was very shy as a kid, so I thought I wanted to kind of speak to that experience of, I would always get told a lot in high school that I'm trying to think of the word, but people thought that they couldn't approach me, and it was basically because I was shy, and I just wasn't sure how to talk to people I didn't know.
Yeah. No, I get you on that. What was it with me? It's kind of weird. Like, I was kind of in that weird shell, like, where I had to behave and kind of be restricted because I lived in my parents' house. Right. But then, like, I realized as more and more of my personal life came out as I got older, especially now after the surgery, where I started to not give a shit anymore. It's really weird because it's sort of like what is it? It was sort of like I just became like a fucking class clown in a way. But it wasn't
Right.
like that weird sort of a look at me type of thing. It's just like, fuck it, I'm just going to say whatever I'm going to say. I mean, you just say some shit and like, oh my god, you just said some shit. I'm like, yep.
Yep,
Because I
like,
know.
hey, you believe it, this is it.
Well, I noticed like this: if the more that you're yourself, in some ways you do get rejected on a certain level, but in more ways you actually get more. You get less fucked with personally.
Right.
It's weird. Like on certain levels, like you get fundamentally rejected by some people that you grew up with or whatever, and then on other levels, like you actually don't get screwed with at all, if at all, for who you are, as much.
Right.
So I
Yeah.
think it's just people can sense that as a weakness. I'm not really sure, but that's what
I
we
think
got
that's
going
true.
on.
Yeah, because they sense a facade. So if there's no facade there, there's nothing for them to pick at.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Wow, I'm drawing this. This is some fucking shit right here. I'm just drawing the. The lungs into her. You know how I was telling you about the concept that I was coming up with?
Yeah.
And it just looks so fucked up right now. It's just I'm doing this whole thing like where it's like it looks like I'm just drawing the thing like that. But yeah. But yeah, it's just like I mean, you'd have to read the story to get it, and I'm not gonna go give away any more of the story because come on, you gotta get the fucking book. But it's really, really crazy. Oh shit. I actually grabbed the wrong thing. Ugh. You know what's weird is that as I'm drawing Pamela's like body parts, I can kind of
Right.
relate to this, even though the surgery was not on my lungs.
Right.
It's weird because it's like it was on my upper abdomen, and it was weird because like they actually would tell me you had to go do breathing exercises, you had to breathe, you had to do all these things, and you were just like, otherwise you get pneumonia. And the problem
Right.
with getting pneumonia is that it'll fuck you
the
up.
stuff
And,
out of your lungs, the anesthesia out of your lungs, right?
well, it's like the fluid will collect in your lungs if you're lying around all the time.
Right.
Yeah. So, what ended up happening was that, so it's weird because like since it was so close to my lungs, I guess I would
Right.
get some weird spasms. And we have a doctor in the family, like he's my brother-in-law's brother, and he told me like that actually can go on for a while. Like you just kind of breathe and you're like that. And it's weird
Right.
now too because since I've lost all that weight, I lost 35 pounds because the pancreas was not working as well with that tumor, so it
Right.
was dragging me down. So I think a lot of the weight gain had something to do with that. And now because everything's kind of gone back into place because it like really distended my upper stomach, and it was weird because like the incision that they made, and at the time it looked
Right.
2 inches down from the
Okay.
ribs.
And now it's up.
Yeah, it's right below my rib cage.
Oh wow.
So it sort of is weird that way. It's sort of
Yeah,
like
sure.
now I kind of feel it because now it's in that stage where I'm getting the feeling back in my upper stomach, but they're doing it from muscle up. So it's like hurt. It kind of hurts in a different way. So the
Right.
skin itself is numb, but muscle
Right.
up, it's more sore all around in that area. And
Yeah.
not only that, I'm starting to get like that weird sore feeling in my incision. So
Oh man. Are they having you do massage work to keep it from getting scar tissue?
I'm doing stuff on my own. Like they just said
Okay.
scar cream, so I have this nice scar balm and everything, and then I have like vitamin E and everything else, so that's been pretty cool. So
Yeah. Because I know with my C-section scar, they told me to just like work it each day to keep it from getting adhesions.
yeah, they were actually really surprised. They said, "Wow, you don't have that much swelling in terms of it." But then
Right.
from day one, like once they took the staples out, I just started putting that shit on. You know?
Right.
Yeah, but it is weird, like when you have like the nubs, and you're just like, "Oh man." See, now you get to hear about the nitty gritty of fucking surgery. Ain't that great, you guys? Yeah. Oh fuck, this looks like your lungs are burning. Oh my god, this is really crazy. Sometimes I'll look at my work like, fuck.
So would Demon Bitch come in and throw more fuel on the flames?
For which one? For this or for...
For Pamela's lungs on fire?
Oh god, I think she just finds some way to fuck it up. I mean, she's just like that. She will find some way to fuck shit up. I mean, that's just Demon Bitch. That's just what you gotta expect about her. She's a Demon Bitch. So, like, have you read some of the book? I forget if I gave you a copy of it, or...
You gave me the press kit, so I just had the little snippets that were in the press kit and some of your webcomic.
Oh, okay. So what do you think about it? Like, what do you think about reading it?
I think she's hilarious. I love that she'll be like talking about something, and what's going on in the picture is completely different from what she's talking about.
Yeah, it's just like, what are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Type thing.
Yep. I like the one where she was a kitten. I thought that was funny.
Oh, that little sketch where she just looked like
Yeah.
this. Yeah, it kind of reminds. Yeah, like I just was bored and I drew that. Like I follow this. Okay, so guys, if you want to know about what my creative thing is, I'm sometimes really lame, and I will just people say, "Oh, you must watch all these movies and stuff." No, because that's the part that needs to draw. But the thing is,
Right.
what I'll do is I'll watch these stupid ass fucking cat videos, mostly from Korea. Like Japan used to have the whole thing on cat videos. Now it's Korea. So there's this one called Cream Heroes where she has 7 fucking cats. I love cats, but I can't have that many. I have 2, and that's
a lot
it.
of cats. Yeah.
Yeah. So she does like weird shit with cats and everything. I mean, she's not bad, but there's this one named Lulu, and Lulu's a little asshole. He has a cigar-like tail. He looks like his tail looks like a cigar, and he goes
Right.
around and he steals food. And he's just like going, and he's kind of a little asshole. And so I just drew her like that. I don't know why, but it was just weird. And Demon Bitch is an asshole, and that's all you got to know. So yeah, it's one of those.
That would be funny if like another demon or another character like poof changed her into a cat for a day. She had to live as a cat.
Oh, she would just be a total asshole. She'd shit on the pillow. Like there's apparently like an actual cartoon called Fat Freddy. I forgot what it's called. 2 of my friends have told me about it, so I got to read it.
Right.
Fat Freddy's cat gets pissed because he has a fat cat, and I guess Fat Freddy's fat. I don't know. I've never read it. So the cat will shit on his fucking pillowcase whenever he's mad at him. And, predictably, Fat Freddy kicks his ass out the door, right? Like, he
Right.
literally boots him out the door, so it's like Fat Freddy's cat. And I'm like, yeah, I feel that. So,
Pee in the shoes.
yeah, like,
my parents had a cat that in anger, would pee in the shoes in the closet.
luckily I never had that. I haven't had a cat like that, but I do know what you're talking about. Yeah, like Fat Freddy and the cat and everything, so let me go in. Alright. I want to try to
Munchkin wasn't like that. She was a sweetie. She used to clean my nose. She'd just lick the top of my nose.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, and you could hold her and rub her belly, which most cats you can't touch their stomach. She loved to be held like this and just scratch her belly.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah, let me
she was.
let me share my screen so you can go ahead and do that. So that way, can I share this computer screen? Bitch, go share the computer screen.
There we are.
Oh, it's showing it now. Okay. Thank you. Oh, come stop doing this shit. Okay. It's saying connect your live stream to the live API. Screw you. Anyway, it should be doing it.